What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the Witcher's multiplayer game, one of the multiple Witcher projects that they have announced that we know are coming, but I say that kind of loosely, right? Because the story we're talking about here is not really all that great. At best, what this indicates is that they're taking a very hard look at this multiplayer project, and actually what seems to be admitting whatever they've had up until this point, not good, not happy with it. They're adjusting, they're pivoting 180, whatever it may be. At worst, it could be canceled. Now, it doesn't seem like it's canceled. I'm not an investor. I'm not into regulations or finances, so obviously take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Now, this comes from a variety of sources. Let's read the first one. This guy on Twitter, Game Over30, CD Projekt Group is taking an impairment charge on this project, which is the multiplayer game. It looks like they evaluated the commercial viability of the current design and decided against it. Taking a charge indicates they want the expenses taken now because they serve no value to the company. This indicates a complete scrapping of the current build since they don't want any of it. Several months back, I mentioned that I didn't think all of their projects would survive. They opened several, and it goes through the amount of money. I mean, this is a good amount of chunk of millions of dollars that they've already invested into this thing that these charges are going to be taken from them right now. So the way he words it is not necessarily all that great. I'm not saying he words it badly. I'm saying the situation is not all that great. There's a couple other sources or sites that are reporting on it. You got to like translate what they're saying, but it doesn't look like it's canceled. But as that guy points out, what seems to be is they can't use or they won't be using anything that they've done up until this point. People have also spotted that this multiplayer thing is actually going to be co-op. There's job postings from CD Projekt Red that indicate that the multiplayer game that they're doing is going to be a cooperative game. I think one of the sites reporting about this situation talked about it maybe even being a survival multiplayer game that would have co-op. So, look, at the end of the day, I'm not thrilled if what this guy on Twitter that we just read, if what he's saying is correct, which I really don't see any reason to doubt it. I'm not thrilled with these I don't think anybody's necessarily thrilled with these game companies announcing games 5, 6, 7 years before they're announced, right? And ultimately what it's been, the reason that they're doing it over the last half decade is it's basically a strategy. It's like a marketing strategy where they announce this either super ambitious game or it's got the IP so people know it, right? They announce it and they've got nothing. They've had absolutely no work on this game whatsoever. They're announcing it literally to hope that people say, oh, I want to work on that game. I'll work for you. And that's literally why these games, a lot of them, I suppose, that's why they exist. I already think that's kind of an issue. But what I really don't like about it is you're fooling consumers, right? I mean, some of us know what's going on here, but like we buy the games. We pay what ends up being like their bills, right? Because we buy these copies, they make millions of dollars, they pay everybody off, and they go to make the next one, right? So announcing it into the wild to get employees to, flock to them is one thing, but also just doing it to us, right? And for a situation like this, saying, yeah, we're going to do a multiplayer Witcher, where you're going to get all sorts of reactions from people off of that. And then it turns out, maybe they've been working on it the last half year, whatever it's been, and they say, well, this is not working. We have to change it. I did see some people speculating maybe it's kind of their jump into the live servicey thing, right? So like Sony's going all in with their 10 live service projects, and you imagine Sony just wants a couple of them to hit, right? Because if you can have a couple games that last 5, 6, 7 years, make you a boat ton of money, the other games can be failures. It doesn't really matter. This could be, CD Projekt's Red version of that, right? Can they throw together a quick maybe not that quick, but a quick multiplayer game that lasts a long time, constantly brings them in money? And the issue with that is more often than not, those fail. More often than not, it doesn't work. So, why announce it? And that's kind of where I'm coming from, that, if they fix the ship, right? The ship's sinking right now. If they fix it, great. If they don't, the issue there is, well, you said it. This was part of like your 3, 4, 5 project portfolio for the future of The Witcher. If you're not going to do it, but again, it's tough because they have been doing it. It's just it hasn't really worked. But as this guy says, he didn't even expect all their projects to come through. I say maybe don't announce projects out into the wild unless you're pretty darn sure you're going to do it. And I think it's a more egregious example. It becomes more of a problem when you announce, hey, we're going to do 3, 4, 5 different things. It'd be like Sony, I guess, if they announce all 10 live service games, but then 3 of them get canceled before they come out. Well, why announce all 10? Well, the answer is what we've just already talked about in this video. So hopefully they fix it, because honestly, done right, a Witcher multiplayer game, period, would be incredible, right? Playing it with somebody else, a co-op kind of thing. So that's great. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of live service, but if you can get it to work, imagine a live service co-op multiplayer Witcher game. I mean, I think you'd have quite the market for that, right? So the potential's there. I think the quality of the workers and who could put it together, I think you can do it. But ultimately, these promises, if you want to call them a promise, right? But these promises that don't end up working out, that's the annoying part. So let me know what you all think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.